The Detroit Lions are standing at another brutal crossroads, and the pressure has never been thicker. Last season's playoff surge gave us a glimpse of what could be, but now the NFC North is morphing into a full-on battleground the Lions can't ignore. The Green Bay Packers just landed Micah Parsons, an edge rusher whose ability to dismantle offenses makes him a game-changer. And now the whole division hierarchy is shaking. For Lions fans, that old fear creeps back in. Are we really ready to build on last year's breakthrough? Or is Detroit doomed to watch rivals pull away once again, the kind of soul-drilling heartbreak we know all too well since the days Barry Sanders hung up his cleats and Calvin Johnson became a legend but left us empty? The kind of heartbreak that makes every offseason a grind of unmet expectations. This isn't just about football. This is about reclaiming pride for a city starved for playoff relevance. So can Detroit's front office, led by Brad Holmes, finally seize the moment, or will hesitation swallow a chance that might not come back? The Bears, Vikings, and now the Packers, the division rivals, are building, bolstering, pushing Detroit's defense into a corner. Hutchinson may be the lion on this line, but can he do it all alone while Parsons terrorizes quarterbacks down the street? Detroit's defensive identity is on the line, and edge rush isn't just a position anymore. It's who we are. This is Lions News Fan Report, the heart of Detroit's football pulse, where every snap echoes Ford Field's roar, and every down is wired with the grit and grit alone that built this city. If you bleed Honolulu blue and silver and crave the uncut truth on moves that shift the balance, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Because now more than ever, it's time to bring the noise back home, louder and prouder. And speaking of noise, the biggest one right now is this. The Detroit Lions are circling Jacksonville's Travon Walker. Yes, you heard that right. The first overall pick in 2022, a 6'5", 272-pound disruptor who's been lighting it up on the opposite coast. From rook to rising star, Walker is exactly the kind of force Detroit needs opposite Aiden Hutchinson to build a pass rush that can go toe-to-toe with the division's best. His numbers don't lie. 3.5 sacks as a rookie, ramping up to 10, then 10.5 sacks in year 3, with QB hits and tackles for loss climbing every season. Jacksonville has committed through 2026 with his 5th-year option activated, but the buzz is thick. The Eagles are sniffing around him too. That means Detroit's potential move isn't just a quiet rumor anymore. It's a strategic pivot to rewrite the division. Detroit can handle Walker's 2025 cap hit of around $12 million with enough room to maneuver long-term, and the trade cost? Expect a first-round pick and some mid-round assets. Comparisons to Montez Sweat and Brian Burns show this is pricey, but fair, and for a player hitting his peak, it's a no-brainer gamble if Detroit wants to keep pace. Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson's defense thrives on chaos and disruption. Walker fits that blueprint flawlessly. His length stretches the pocket, his versatility keeps offenses guessing, and his explosion against the run bolsters a front that can't just play defense. It has to dominate. The impact goes beyond just 2 stars. Walker opposite Hutchinson forces a ripple, pushing lesser pass rushers down the depth chart and sharpening competition. Injuries happen. Just ask Hutchinson about last year. Walker's arrival would be insurance, but insurance that could pay massive dividends against Parsons, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, and whatever tricks Matt Eberflus and the Bears cook up. As the Packers swing big on Parsons and the Vikings and Bears add front 7 depth, Detroit can't afford to play it safe, waiting on upgrades next year. This is the moment to invest heavily and loudly, and fans know the cost of missed chances too well. Imagine Ford Field on an autumn afternoon, the crowd roaring as 2 relentless pass rushers crash through offensive lines and rattle quarterbacks all day long. That's not a pipe dream anymore. It's within reach if Detroit pulls the trigger on Walker. Think about it. An edge rush duo so fierce no offense in this division wants to face it. That's the kind of noise Detroit hasn't heard since Barry ran free or Calvin made defenses bleed. This isn't just about adding another name. It's about restoring the Lions' defensive swagger, demanding respect, and standing tall in a division that's quickly becoming the NFL's fiercest. The question now, are you ready for Holmes and the front office to make the big, bold move? Trading a first-round pick isn't light. It's gutsy and necessary. But the alternative? Watching the Packers' crown get heavier, the Bears and Vikings build around elite edges, and Detroit left scrambling for scraps again. No thanks. Lions fans, this isn't just another big name floating on the rumor mill. It's a crossroads that will define Detroit's next era. Will Trayvon Walker be the spark that fires up this defense and turns playoff hopes into playoff runs? Or is he just another shiny object without the right pieces around him? A flash that fades like so many before? Drop your take, because in Detroit, hope isn't a feeling, it's a battle cry. It demands everything, the city, the team, and every one of us behind it. One Pride isn't just a hashtag, it's a call to action that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and the entire Lions organization have to answer. If they make this move, the NFC North won't know what hit them. If they don't, well, Lions fans, brace yourselves. You know the soundtrack to that fallout all too well. So tighten those chin straps. The edge rush war just got real. Ford Field is about to shake when two relentless pass rushers start, battering QBs and breaking offensive lines. There's no turning back. This city deserves that roar, that fight, and that proof we finish what we start, no matter the odds. Are you ready to see the Lions rewrite the script? Because if the front office pulls this off, this season won't just be another season. It'll be a declaration. Detroit is back, and this division is ours to take. What if this isn't the end of the shock, but just the start of something even bigger? Could the Lions' window for seismic moves be closing faster than we thought? Imagine the division catching fire, Packers snatching Parsons, Vikings elevating their front with more skill, and the Bears riding momentum. Does Brad Holmes have enough courage to go all in, or are we about to see Detroit fall into that familiar trap of hesitation, all while division rivals keep stacking holes and cutting-edge players from their roster trying to outdraft us? And let's be real. What happens if Holmes pulls the trigger on Trayvon Walker and suddenly Detroit's front develops a double-headed monster capable of harassing every quarterback? The ripple effects are enormous. It forces rival offenses into uncomfortable schemes, pushes our secondary into shutdown mode, and sends a message that Detroit won't just be a playoff team. We're shaping a dominant era. But then whispers swirl from league insiders. Could this expose cracks within the Lions' front office? The pressure on Holmes and Campbell isn't just about players, it's about legacy. If they miss out on this move, does it mean Detroit's chance at division supremacy slips away for good? The next few weeks could be pivotal, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Because if they go all in, what dominoes fall next? Will more big-name targets become available, or will the risk of overpaying push the Lions into a corner? Every team in the NFC North is watching, waiting for Holmes' call, knowing a single bold step could define the future of this franchise. Picture Ford Field, roar deafening, lights blazing as Hutchinson and Walker now form a two-headed beast that offenses fear. That's the vision, a relentless pass rush that turns opponents into spectators. But here's the kicker. The clock's ticking, and Detroit doesn't have unlimited ammo. If Holmes hesitates, the division's power structure might shift forever. And if we're honest, that would be a blow we're still trying to recover from. Just like the heartbreaks of the past. But this hurts a little more because the window's wide open. League chatter suggests Walker's market is heating up. Insiders hinting at a price tag that's steep but necessary. And reports say Detroit could easily maneuver around the cap and land him with a first-round pick. That's a gutsy call. But in this league, survival of the fittest, It's the move that could send us soaring or send us spiraling back into obscurity. And don't forget, injuries happen. Hutchinson knows that all too well after last season. Walker gives us insurance, sure, but more importantly, he's the chip that could turn our defense into a reckoning machine, punishing quarterbacks like Justin Fields or Kirk Cousins the very moment they blink. The ripple isn't just individual, it's strategic. Push Walker beside Hutchinson, and suddenly the offensive lines have no safe haven in the division. It's a battle of who can withstand the fury first. This isn't about casual upgrades. It's about rewriting the narrative, reclaiming the grit Detroit's known for, and establishing dominance in the NFC North once and for all. But here's the real question. Is Holmes prepared to put everything on the line? The cost isn't just a pick. It's a statement to the league that Detroit is back in it to win it. And if he pulls the trigger, the division's landscape shifts forever. A new era dawns with Detroit leading the charge. But if he doesn't, watch the Packers' heavy crown get heavier. See the Bears and Vikings strengthen their front, while Detroit plays catch-up with dust on its shoulders. That's the brutal choice, posture, or power. Playing safe, that's how we lose our identity. Grit, fight, and the relentless spirit of Ford Field. So, fans, what's the move? Because as the deadline approaches, this could be the moment that defines whether we're chasing shadows or casting our own. If Holmes swings big now, we're not just competing, we're rewriting our history. From the ashes of heartbreak, a new lion roars. And if that roar catches fire, the NFL's landscape will never be the same. Now stop dreaming. It's time for Detroit to make it happen, or watch the division slip away, piece by piece. That's the truth buried in this gamble. And trust me, if they go all in on Walker, we could finally witness the start of a dynasty, or the death of every hope we've fought for since Barry and Calvin left us hanging. No more waiting, no more excuses. It's now or never, and in Lions country, there's no in-between, only what's coming next. And that's a Detroit that refuses to blink, engineered by the dark whispers of league insiders and fueled by Detroit's relentless passion. The potential acquisition of Trayvon Walker is shaping up to be the defining move of this offseason. As reports say, the Lions are eyeing the first overall pick from Jacksonville, a player who has steadily ramped from 3.5 sacks as a rookie to a formidable 10.5 sacks in his third year, with QB hits and tackles for loss escalating each season. Sources hint Holmes is prepared to turn every stone, suggesting a first-round pick and some mid-round assets are on the table. It's a bold price, but one Detroit can afford with enough cap room and strategic maneuvering. The move signals seriousness about dominating the league's premier division and devastating rival offenses, especially if paired with Hutchinson, forming a duo that offensive lines will tremble before. But the ripple effect isn't just tactical, it's emotional. Detroit's history is laced with heartbreaks, from the 0-16 nightmare to stars like Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson walking away. The city's hunger for consistency burns hotter than ever. A trade for Walker could finally ignite the swagger that's long been dormant. The kind of swagger that demands respect and transforms the Lions from playoff hopefuls into a legitimate NFC North force. That said, league chatter suggests that Jacksonville's management is debating beyond just the cap hit, with the Eagles circling, ready to swoop on Walker if Detroit hesitates, raising the stakes even higher. It's a gamble that could set the tone for how Detroit approaches the remainder of the season. If Holmes pulls this off, Ford Field will erupt, a fortress with Hutchinson and Walker, unleashing chaos in a league where pass rush wins championships. That isn't just a hypothetical. It's a vision rooted in sobering statistics and relentless grit. But what if hesitation creeps in? What if the front office stalls, fearing overpayment, and the division's momentum shifts as the Packers and Bears bolster with key acquisitions? Do we risk losing the chance to reset the division's power structure? The fan base isn't waiting for promises. We crave results. Every snap, every QB hurried, every quarterback who feels those relentless rushers circling, it's what we bleed blue for. This move could be the defining statement of Holmes's tenure, a bold declaration that Detroit's time is now, or a costly misstep that drags us back into football purgatory. The stakes couldn't be starker, and make no mistake, the clock's ticking. The deadline isn't just a date, it's a line in the sand. If Holmes swings for it, we might finally see what Detroit's gone without for too long. A defense that's as fierce as its history is storied. But if he keeps delaying, the division's crown might slip through our fingers, leaving us in the dust of rival front sevens. So the question remains, is this the moment Detroit turns adversity into absolute dominance? Or do we settle for playing keep-up in a division that's demanding our respect and ready to take it if we don't? Act now? Because in Lions country, hesitation isn't just a mistake, it's a death sentence. I've seen enough heartbreak and false hope. This city deserves more than just woodwork and shadows. It's hungry for a new chapter, a new roar that drowns out the ghosts of the past. The raw facts are clear. Walker's market is hot, and Detroit's chance might not come again if we wait. A trade might be costly, but so is standing still. The front office's move right now could be the difference between being a team on the rise or a footnote in NFC North history. And frankly, I'm sick of feeling like we're always chasing shadows, always just behind the elites. If Holmes makes the bold call, we're not just building a team, we're building a legacy. So Lions fans, get ready, it's crunch time. Make no mistake, the lines are drawn, the roar will be heard around the NFL, and it starts with this. One decision. Will we seize the moment or watch it slip into history? Because if Holmes takes that shot, the season ain't just about football anymore. It's about declaring Detroit's place at the top. And you better believe, when those pass rushers start pounding the pocket, the city's roar will echo forever. Detroit Lions' potential pursuit of Travon Walker and the implications for the NFC North and their playoff ambitions.